Today we're going to talk about multitasking and distractedness. And the short story here is that most of us are not very good at multitasking. And we even get distracted by other people's multitasking. So, just to start, think about how good you think you are at multitasking. Scale from one, very poor, to seven, very good. Okay. Now think, let's try an experiment. And for this, you're going to need a stopwatch. So stop the video, get yourself a stopwatch. There's a function to do that on your phone, if you're looking for something. Okay. So what I want you to do is time yourself during each of two tasks. So the first one is, as quickly as you can, count down from 10 to 0, and then immediately say the alphabet out loud from A to K. So go for it. Okay, I assume you've written this down. Now what I want you to do is a second task. For this one, I want you to alternate between saying the alphabet and counting down. So for example, 10A, 9B, 8C. Okay, stop the video and start it up again when you're done. Again, making sure that you've counted or that you've set your stopwatch. Okay, now what I want you to do is divide the number of seconds taken for your second task time by that for your first task time. So, your second task, it probably took you longer than your first one. So you'd have a number bigger than one. And the longer it is, the bigger that ratio is. So if you have a ratio of 1 or less than 1, then you're great at multitasking. Go ahead and do your homework while watching TV and doing Facebook and whatever. If it is bigger than 1, then rethink your plan. So for most students, multitasking is a problem, and it may be something that you're seeing that what you're doing on your phone is interfering with what you do on your laptop, as you're studying for class. On average, students or astronomy students who reported using their cell phone in class never did better than those students who reported using it even once or twice in a class period, presumably because of distractedness. Now, obviously, one of the problems here is that this is self-report data. And do we really know whether they, in fact, were, that this matches their use of, or their cell phone use? It's still interesting data. Let's try something different. This is an experiment. So where the past study that we were talking about was correlational. And what Sana et al. Did is they looked at the effect of multitasking, doing another task in the course of a lecture, and how that affected comprehension of the lecture content. And what you see is that there is a significant difference between people who were multitasking and people who weren't multitasking. The people who weren't multitasking were about 10% more accurate in terms of their comprehension of the lecture content as assessed by a quiz. Another question: does your multitasking affect the performance of other students? And so what Sana et al. Did is they gave students an assessment where they were asked to where they could either see another person multitasking or not see somebody else multitasking. And simply seeing someone else multitasking decreased their performance. And actually here it looks like it was a bigger decrease than just their own multitasking. Okay, so what does this mean? What it means is that in general, as we're thinking about effective studying, we're thinking about using effective learning strategies and assessing our metacognition, but also studying with full focus and few distractions. Better to really focus than to there's some research, even having a phone out on a desk hurts you. And take care.